This is about a book entitled The Killer Inside Me. Many years ago, when I was just starting out in college, I took a few introductory psychology courses because they were prerequisites for a course I really wanted to take, namely abnormal psychology. Boy, I was hot for that one. It was going to be a thrill ride. I couldn't wait to take it. It did not work out that way. It wasn't exciting at all. It was dry, musty dust. Maybe the professor wasn't horrible, but I thought he was. Here he had this great subject, and he was boring. Boring! I tried to follow him, but at the end of each class, I was empty and I had no clear memory of the proceedings. I heard he did his research with turtles. He had us read reams of reprints of case studies, all of them invariably long-winded, technical, pointless, and boring. I did not do well in the class, and worse, I learned nothing, and I blamed it all on the stiff who led it. I really felt like he had stolen something from me, and I have nursed that feeling, childishly, I guess, for all these years. I feel better now. I just finished reading The Killer Inside Me by Jim Thompson. And brother, let me tell you, that book is a veritable breeding ground for abnormal psychology. It's sick. It's a big, bursting dose of batshit crazy. You want a peek on the dark side? There it is. The back of the book says it has become a cult favorite, meaning that there is a pack of flaming nutjobs out here, like me, who found their way to the book and got even more than they bargained for. Abnormal psychology? I'll say, this is post-grad work. The narrator of the book is so twisted you have no idea when he's going to go off, but you sure as hell know he will, and soon. Every time I picked up the book to read it, I felt like I was checking my poor old human nature at the door. The book was published in 1952. Eisenhower was being elected, the suburbs were starting to boom, and here is this story of a little West Texas town that would curdle the blood in a puff adder. The seemingly decent and ineffectual narrator is a trip. He toys with people, battering them with cliches until they have to walk away. That's him at his kindness, his mildest. He's constantly brooding about what he calls, in italics, the sickness, something to do with a 3-year-old girl, something he did, something his foster brother knew and took the rap for it, going to jail in his place, something his father knew, the man a doctor and worried sick about this malignant thing that was his son. That's pretty much the fuel for this ride we're on. There was a housekeeper who did something to him before the incident with the little girl. He says there are things that have to be forgotten if you want to go on living. And he tries to forget, but those things, the sickness, keep coming back irresistibly. He can't keep pretending to be this nice guy. He's not a nice guy. The story turns bad, and then it gets worse. Our hero morphs into a devil. The guy is so sick, he teases the reader with details of a murder, twice, putting it off, manipulating the characters in the story and the reader. It's quite a performance. He enjoys it so much he does it a third time, and then, okay, party time, he murders. Eventually, he puts a name on the sickness, his duplicity, dementia praecox, schizophrenia, paranoid type, acute, recurrent, advanced, incurable. There we go. Somebody write up a case study. The authorities know he killed these people. They put him in jail. They put him in a lunatic asylum. A big-time lawyer gets him out, but he tells the lawyer not to bother. He can't be saved. So the lawyer takes him home, and he waits for them to come. Following a brief chapter told in the second person, as he watches himself prepare for the end, the preparations are made, and the end is the expected cataclysm, the destruction of the home, and his death in a roar of gunfire. And I thought Cain was dark. Jim Thompson makes James Cain look dainty and reserved. Thompson created a world that has been twisted beyond anything Cain knew, beyond despair, beyond death, beyond the sane recognition of anything. I said Cain wrote about a person who was detached. In Thompson's world, there is nothing to hold on to, not even anything to be. Poe would recognize it. It's madness. It's a real, bone-chilling nightmare.